This is the Atomic Trivia War 9000, where geeks show what they know. How do you like that? It's a new catchline for a new year, 2015. We're starting off. I'm your host, Jason Hawk. Let's meet our contestants. From Costa Rica, my good friend Omar Hernandez.
Hello.
From Florida, he's one rad dad, Rick Tatro.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Whoa. From Seattle, she just desperately wants to be loved, Rochelle Mantanona.
Go Hawks.
No. Ro, remember, last week was the last time you're allowed to mention the Seahawks.
No, it's playoff time. There are no rules. Rules are out the door. It's playoffs.
Don't worry,
Well, we're
Jason.
gonna censor
They're not
you.
going to outlast this weekend.
I'm actually going to go back and bleep that word.
Seriously, go Hawks.
Nope. I have to add another bleep.
Go Hawks.
You'll notice that Kevin Archibald, fellow contestant, is somewhat conspicuously absent. He's been fired. He's been fired from the show. He will never return. He's a sack of crap. And his mother, well, we won't even go into what his mother did. So.
Oh, my giddy aunt.
Oh, you're a giddy aunt? Oh,
Yeah.
Kevin's giddy aunt.
Yeah.
Right. Kevin will be back next week, I think. He's gallivanting around London or something with his family. Like, that's important.
Like the real London, or like London,
like,
Ontario?
Well, he was in London for a while, and then I think he went to Germany, and then he was back in London, but he'll be back in Canada at some point soon, I think. Apparently, he just has lots of time to float around and do whatever he wants. Must be nice, Kevin. To spite him, though, we're going to get things started with an extra game. Kevin always begs for extra games, so we're going to do it while he's gone. Lightning round. Quick little trivia game, courtesy of Jeff Spruce. I'll give you the comic movie. You tell me whether it includes a cameo by the inimitable Stan Lee, father of modern superhero stories. I've got 10 of these. You ready to go?
Yes.
Do we need to say what the cameo actually is?
You can or you can't. It doesn't matter to me. I really want to fly through this really fast, though. So my hand is on the bell to give credit for whomever answers quickly. Question number 1, X2 X-Men United. Stanley or no?
No.
Rick Scott at 1 point. Well done, Rick Tatro. Great way to start, showing off these regulars. Number 2, Blade Trinity.
Yes.
I'm going to say no.
Well, there you go, Ro. If I didn't ding the bell for when Omar said yes, turn the coin over. It's got to be no. You get a point. The Avengers.
Yes.
I think you all get a point on that one.
Except bro.
Daredevil. Oh, yeah, we can subtract
Yes.
one for Ro.
That's bull.
Forget it.
You can't subtract. There's no subtraction.
Elektra.
Yes.
Yes.
I have never seen that movie. F that movie.
It's
Ro.
not that bad. It's
Say
entertaining.
no.
No.
There you go.
Yes.
Wait, he was in Daredevil, but not Elektra?
Yeah, that's a really weird one.
I'm
isn't
just playing the game and saying yes to everything. I'm
I
going to
know.
be correct 50%
If
of
it's
the
a
time.
Marvel movie, and more than likely he is.
I never saw Elektra because Daredevil hurt too much.
They're not that bad. I mean, come on. Daredevil's
These are
not that
all-
bad.
These are all Marvel properties, though, Ro. That's what makes it a
Yeah.
little bit confusing.
We're talking
Yeah,
about
but they don't
Marvel
own the
franchises.
rights to all of them. And
Number
he's only in the
6.
ones they own.
Well, exactly. Well, there's maybe a couple of exceptions. Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Yes.
Omar gets it. Ghost Rider.
Yes.
Fuck
No.
no.
Ro gets it by a heartbeat. The Punisher.
Yes.
No.
No.
Ro gets it again.
Thank you, Omar.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody gets that one. And final one, number 10. X-Men
No.
Days of Future Past.
Yes.
Oh, well done, Rick. You snuck that in there.
Yeah, he was in there.
I've been keeping score here. So far, it's Omar 4, Ro 6, Rick 4. Not a bad way to start off the game.
Totally okay with that.
Let's do rank and file, though. I've really missed doing rank and file. Rank and file. Something like that. The winner of the rank and file game will get first pick of the following hot seat categories, so keep these in mind as you're playing. Fictional cities. This is not light trivia, and I heard you like animals. Those are the three.
Sounds
So
like
light trivia, is that
Stockholm.
Light or L-I-T-E.
L-I-G-H-T. This is not light trivia.
Okay.
In order to win your first crack at those, I have for you tonight the British Film Institute's top 100 best science fiction characters of all time. This is a list that came out maybe 2 weeks ago. 4 people sent me this list, so I think it's going to be quite popular this evening. Let's see who can guess the closest to number 1 on the stupid list. Rick, you're the guest and you get first crack.
This is the British film. Does this include TV or just movies?
British Film Institute, the best sci-fi characters of all time.
Doctor Who.
Rick chooses Doctor Who. Omar?
Darth Vader.
Vader. Bro.
Man. I don't know, because I'm not going to win, because those are easily, like, top 2 or something. I can't even think of anything else. All of it, I was like, Darth Vader! And he said Doctor Who, and I was just like, there you go. Can't
I
think
don't
of it.
understand why you're stalling. You're the third one to choose.
I am completely blank now, because all I had was Darth Vader right here on the piece of paper.
I can't think of like 3 or 4 more. Like,
Dude,
like
I am
quick.
drawing complete blanks. Just give me a second, because it's been a while since we did trivia. How long has it been, Jason?
5 weeks, I think. We've been running shows that we built up. We had a big bubble.
Sci-fi.
It was almost as big as Omar's butt.
Well, while Ro
And
is
that is
thinking,
quite big.
I'll go ahead. No, I got one. Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk? All right.
I got it.
Can I clarify something really quick before the pitchfork-wielding Whovians come after me? It's the
Go for
Doctor, not Doctor Who. It's the
Okay,
Doctor.
yes, all right. You actually were going to get disqualified. Yeah. So, let's give Rick 3 points, I think, because he guessed number 1. That's going to be a new rule this year. You guess number 1, you're going to get 3 points, not just the standard 1. You got it right on the nose. It's like The Price is Right. You guess within, what, like $50 on the Showcase Showdown, and you get both showcases?
Yes. $100, I think it is.
The Doctor is number 1 on the list. Vader's number 3. Ro, you think Kirk is number 2 on the list?
No, it's probably Spock.
Let's see, I'm going down.
I
Yeah.
would have said Neo.
Captain James Tiberius Kirk, number 14 on the list. I think
Dope.
that's a travesty.
It was still on
Yeah.
the list. I got it, so I'm good.
Now, Rick was smart to choose the Doctor on this list, since it is the British Film Institute. Of course, it's going to be skewed toward that terrible crap of a show that I don't like. Let's go down the rest of the top 10, though, to see how it's skewed. The Doctor, Ellen Ripley.
Ah,
Ripley, Alien.
Nice.
Then you got Darth Vader. You got Care Avon or Caravan or something like that. Blake 7.
oh, okay.
What is that?
It was an old 70s
Show I've never seen.
kind of like Buck Rogers, right?
I don't know.
There is somewhat of a slim chance, I would think, especially given the fact that your co-host is British, Rick, that
I suspect Blake 7 will crop up ere too much longer.
on what's your show's name?
Ray Guns and Go-Go Boots.
Yes, there you go. See how I left that spot for the plug? That's how that
I
works.
appreciate it.
Number 5 is Captain Malcolm Reynolds, who I thought Ro would go for.
Oh my
sure.
god!
Number 6 is Jakar from Babylon 5.
And I just-
Sweet.
And I was just watching
Babylon
Castle.
5.
I was just watching Castle, Jason.
7 is HAL 9000 from 2001: A Space Odyssey. 8 is Rick Deckard from Blade Runner. 9, Han Solo from Star Wars. And 10, yes, beating out Captain Kirk, you were correct, Spock is higher on the list.
Han Solo did what to Captain Kirk?
He beat him off. I think that's what I said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so this means that Rick definitely chooses first out of his categories. Omar will get to clean up, and Ro will get stuck with whatever is left over. So what do you say, Rick? What do you want?
Would you repeat the categories, please?
Fictional cities. This is not light trivia, and I heard you like animals.
I already know what I'm getting. I'm so sad.
I'll take fictional cities.
Fictional cities. Omar?
I'll take the animals.
Animals. And Ro? Light trivia.
Mm.
You know what? I think that you'll like that category the most, Ro.
Okay.
So it's time for the hot seat. Let's go ahead and start with Rick. Fictional cities. Category started by Alan Kelly submitted to us at, let's see, what the hell is our email address? atw9k@simplysyndicated.com. If you've been a long-time listener of this show, you know that we love to feature trivia questions that are written by the people who listen to the show. So go ahead and send them to us. Send me like 6 or 7 questions in a category. We'll use them as we see fit. And don't be offended if they sit there for 6 or 7 months or 9 months or forever and don't get used. It's just that there's a lot of questions to go through. Fictional Cities by Alan Kelly. Here we go. I give you the characters. You tell me what fictional city they share in common. Are you ready, Rick?
Let's do it.
Number 1, comic book guy, Apu Nahasapimapetalon, and Maggie.
Springfield.
Rick gets a point. Springfield. The Simpsons. Number 2, Anya, Rupert Giles, Oz.
Sunnydale.
Sunnydale is the correct answer. Did you have to stop and think whether it's Sunnydale or Sunnyvale?
Yes, exactly.
I always make that mistake as well. Number 3, the Professor, Amy, Zoidberg.
Oh, what the hell's the name of the town? It's Futurama. It's frack. I can't believe I can't remember the name of the city. Metropolis? No. I don't know.
It's New York.
New York, damn it.
New York. Number 4. Oogie Boogie, Sally, the Mad Scientist.
Is it Halloween Town?
Yes, well done. I wouldn't have gotten that one.
Really?
Really, for reals. The Nightmare Before Christmas occupies this weird blank spot in my brain. It just seems like it's like a black hole of knowledge.
Do you not know the songs?
Not really, no. That movie, even if I watch it, like, at Halloween time, all of a sudden 3 weeks later, it's gone. I don't remember a single thing.
How are they not? They are very memorable songs. You're just
I don't know.
weird.
It's just, I think everyone has that movie where no matter how many times you watch it, you can't remember it.
Okay, I guess.
Number 5, Emmett Brown, Biff, Jennifer Parker.
Shit, it's Back to the Future.
It is Back to the Future.
Yeah.
The name of the town is the key, though.
Yeah.
Isn't it blank blank?
It's a number of trees, because I know that it changed after he parked his car on one of them or something.
No, that's just the name of the neighborhood. That's the name of the neighborhood. That's not the name of the city.
Oh.
That's the name of the mall.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It starts off as Twin Pines, and then when he runs
That's
into
right.
one of the pines, it goes to
Lone Pine or something.
Lone
Yeah.
Pine, right?
Can I remember the damn town, though? It's, Save the Clock Tower. I can remember everything about it except the
So, like,
name.
a lower area of land is considered a...
The
Valley?
Enchantment Under the Sea dance was held at what high school? Put it in the context of the high school.
Slacker Valley. I don't know. It's gone.
It's very generic. Hill Valley.
Hill Valley?
Hill Valley is
I may
what
not
we
have
got.
actually known that.
All right, let's go ahead and do, you know what, let's skip around a little bit. Let's go to Omar. Omar, do you like animals?
I do like animals.
Yo, dog, I heard you like animals. So I'm going to give you some animals to animal while you animal. This is a category by Michael Mold. You've won the multiple choice lottery, by the way, Omar, so ding, ding, ding.
Yes!
Multiple choice.
choice.
But here's the catch. You're going to need the multiple choice in order to survive this category.
Mold is evil.
He and Kevin apparently had some sort of conversation on Twitter a few months ago about what you call, like, herds of different animals. You know how
Oh.
No.
a bunch of ravens or a bunch of crows is a murder?
Oh.
So that's what all these questions are. Number 1, mob is the collective noun for which of these Australian marsupials? Is it kangaroo, dibbler, or wallaby?
A wallaby.
You've got it. Number 2, which of these archery terms is also the collective noun for cobras? Is it fletching, bracer, or quiver?
A quiver.
You've got it. 2 for 2. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Cast, airy, staff, leash, and flight are all collective nouns for what bird of prey? Is it hawk, eagle, or falcon?
Hawk.
3 for 3.
That home run.
Man, it should have just straight up. You should have known Hawk. Hawk is the best.
There you
Actually,
go.
Hawk
I like
is
that.
the only one I didn't know. I
We're
just said it
gonna
because
isolate that quote and loop it over and over and over again. Hawk is the best.
Oh, well, not you. Like Seahawks.
No, like me, Jason Hawk.
No.
Number 4. A smack is one of the collective nouns for what of the following aquatic life forms? Is it octopus, barracuda, or jellyfish?
jellyfish.
4 for 4.
No, when you-
Holy shit.
When you think about it, like, what would a jellyfish do? It would smack against something because it's just jellyfish. I don't know. That's what I thought of. But
An octopus.
It's a Wilson of
smack
barracudas,
against
isn't it?
something?
I just think jellyfish, and plus you quiver at a bunch of cobras, man. If you saw cobras, like, oh.
Well, I only said jellyfish because they're the only ones that actually move in packs.
Jellyfish move in packs. You heard it here. Number 5. Which of the following poultry birds likes to raise the roof with its collective noun of rafter? Is it chickens, turkeys, or quail?
It is chickens.
Oh, you missed one.
I think it's
Ah,
quail.
what the
I
hell?
think it's quail.
It's turkeys.
Oh.
Ha! Suck it, bro.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Let's take another one off Rose. There we go.
What?
Subtract a point. You got it wrong.
I wasn't part of it.
4 out of 5, I think it's pretty decent.
4 out of 5 is really good. It really sets the bar very, very high for the wrap-up category here with Roe. Are you ready for light trivia or not light trivia?
Sure, whatever.
This is a category by Paul Mackey. Here we go. Number 1, Roe. Boris the Bear was one of the 2 launch titles for this graphic novel publisher. The company was founded in Milwaukee, Oregon in 1986. Not light trivia.
Not light.
I know
Boris
this
the
one.
Bear was
Come
one of 2
on.
launch titles for this graphic novel publisher, founded in
Graphic-
Oregon in 1986.
Graphic novel publisher. Light.
Comic books.
Come
Comic
on.
books. DC, Marvel, Vertigo.
What did you say there, Ro?
You love this publisher. You love it.
Did you mention a title?
No, I'm whispering. I'm whispering the things to me. So like there's.
Okay, Ro, just think of the category name, not light categories.
DC, Marvel, Vertigo. Image.
Oh,
You suck so much, Ro.
Is it
It's
Vertigo? I'm just gonna say Vertigo.
It's amazing. It's
I don't know.
amazing the amount of suckage right now.
Ro, this is not light trivia. The answer is Dark Horse Comics.
Oh, okay. Dark.
Dark Horse
Duh.
Comics.
I was blanking on that one. I'm like I almost want to just turn around and look at my comic book shelf and just see what I have. I don't
I'm
think
pretty sure like 50% of those in the back are Dark Horse.
No, they're not. They're mostly actually probably Vertigo, DC, and Image.
But now that you've got a taste of the motif, keep it in mind for question
Yes.
number 2.
Light.
This horror anthology TV series aired its pilot on Halloween night in 1990 in Canada and premiered in the U.S. in 1992. The stories were presented within the framing device of a group of storytellers calling themselves the Midnight Society.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Are you afraid of the dark? Nickelodeon, what good times.
I love that show.
Pretty good.
Number 3. Buffy the Vampire Slayer comes up again. On Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Anya was deathly afraid of bunnies. It's a pretty good bet she couldn't handle this movie, featuring Frank the Bunny, who may have been an apocalyptic prophet or possibly never have existed at all.
It's a pretty good
Oh,
movie.
Donnie Darko.
Dark O.
Mhm.
Bro, I'm starting to think you might be racist.
Whatever.
In this soap opera, number 4, vampires, werewolves, and other supernatural creatures were regular characters. It was a daytime soap between 1966 and 71, a primetime soap for 12 episodes in 91, and a comedic film in 2012.
Comedic film 2000. That had to be the one with Johnny Depp, right?
And what one fits the category name?
I'm gonna say dark. It's Dark Shadows. I can't think of it.
More like dork shadows, am I right, guys?
Oh, I was like, yeah.
You got it.
That was also the
Number
first
5.
TV show I was ever
4 out of
forbidden to
5,
watch.
Omar. Ugh.
You weren't allowed to watch that one, Rick?
As a kid, I watched the original, and there was one episode that gave me a nightmare that I ended up waking my mom up in the middle of the night about, and she forbade me to watch the show after that.
So this would have been
5.
late 60s. You would have been, what, 40? 41? 42?
43, yeah.
Somewhere in that age range?
Fuck you. Sorry.
Low blow, sorry. Number
No,
5.
don't worry. You can say it clearly. Fuck you, Jason.
Oh, that was only question 4. I have a number 5. Did I miscount?
You have a number 5.
Oh, oops. 3 out of 4 so far, Omar.
3 out of 4. If you get this one, you can tie Omar, which isn't bad.
Oh, too much.
Especially for you. I mean,
You're
with
such
your
a
handicap and whatnot.
you're such a d-bag, man. That's all there is to it.
Dude, you missed Dark Horse. I mean,
This-
even if you get 4 out of 5, you still suck, bro.
Man, not as much as you. That's all there is.
This 1998 film features an amnesiac murder suspect working
Okay.
to clear his name when he discovers his city is under the control of extraterrestrials known as the Strangers.
Hey, Omar, look at the screen. Look at the screen, Omar. Look at the screen. This Dark City. Effer.
With Rufus Sewell, one of my favorite movies.
Should have
there.
gotten 5 out of 5, bro.
That's
For
okay.
shame.
4 out of 5 is good. But in the first category, lightning round, I got 6 because I was like saying yes, yes, yes all the time. So
Now, before you start bragging, Ro,
I know.
I just want to say we got a really cool topic to discuss in just a minute that's about the science fictions. And I love that stuff. But before we do that, let me go ahead and count up the tallies here. This is all the trivia points you could possibly get. Omar has 8, Ro has 10, and Rick has 10, but because he's so cool, I'm going to give him one more so that he wins tonight.
I'm so not.
Ro
there-
lost
that's-
some points as well,
that's
I think, right?
typical. That's okay. I don't mind the guest winning, but it's typical for Jason to do that. Totally typical.
Hey, I mean, it's only fair, right?
Well, there's a 1 point deduction for every single time you mention the unmentionable team name.
But I'll be
Then
negative.
You
I'll
got
be
you got
negative.
my question
I will be
wrong, so
negative.
that's another point.
I don't care.
I think you're in the negative right now.
I'll be negative if I can keep saying the awesomeness of my team.
Of the team that's gonna lose on Sunday, yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's trivia. Let's go ahead and do our roundtable. I sent you this question a little bit earlier in the week. I think that Rick is very, very excited to talk about it. I'm not sure how you two feel about it, though, the regulars, Omar and Ro. Let's see what you come up with. What science fiction movie would you reboot from scratch? And what would you do with it if you had unlimited money, the cast you want, absolute control over the script, direction, photography, no legal worries, no need to make it a hit? It's a wide open floor. What one movie do you want to take and make it your own? Rick, go.
The Last Starfighter.
Oh my God, you are a genius.
That's
What
the
would
one
you do
that
with it?
Jeremy. That's the one that Jeremy Ianni. I'm like, I've never seen this movie, so I couldn't really mention it if I haven't seen it.
You know, with all of the remakes of classic films that should be left the fuck alone, Day the Earth Stood Still, top of the fucking pile, The Last Starfighter is every nerd's wet dream, and why this film hasn't been redone. Because, I mean, the acting was fine in it, but it was campy. They tried to... I give them credit for trying to use CGI back in its infancy, but it looks terrible.
Is that the one where
the
the kid
computer
plays
used
the
to render the
arcade?
asteroids?
Say what?
I'm sorry. Is that the one where the kid plays the arcade and
Yeah.
like the alien race realizes that he is the one that should pilot like the ships and stuff like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is recruited to defend the Star League against Zur and the Kodan Armada.
Yeah, that's actually quite decent.
It is, but it's very much a product of the 80s, and it suffers from the quixotic use of very bad CGI effects when they should have gone with models, I think.
Mm.
That and the whole kind of really creepy, pedophile-ish Robert Preston bit. Yeah.
There is the immortal theory that gets brought up on this show quite a bit that,
Yeah, and that-
it was
I
all a
can't, get
dream
that out of
after he
my
gets
head
in the old
anymore.
guy's car.
hmm
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's, as a theater person, it kind of pains me to say this, but because Robert Preston is a theater staple, and the Music Man and all that stuff. But yeah, he really comes off as just Alex isn't coming back from that trip, except in the trunk wrapped in duct tape.
Hey kid, you want to get in my car? I have candy. Yeah, it's creepy. But what would you do to it? I mean, would you keep the Death Blossom? Would you keep the whole the alien designs, which I always thought were really cool? Would you keep the replicant idea?
Yeah, I think most of it holds up. I like the alien designs for the most part. I think the guy that played Zor was an absolute ass, but I think maybe that might have been part of the point of him. I love Greg. Ed O'Hurley, is that who played him? Yeah. The idea of a human just sort of being dropped into this massive group of aliens, and I think they did a pretty good job with the prosthetics and stuff in there. They could be updated a bit. I would hate to see it go all CGI and get kind of J.J. Abrams, but I like the design of the Starfighters. I think that could be streamlined a little bit. The Death Blossom could be that was kind of a silly thing with the spinning around and tumbling, but it could be done a little better. I hadn't thought about the cast because I'm so old and out of it with the kids and everything, but I don't know who's out there anymore. I would have said Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but that would have been 10 years ago.
He has a little bit of a squirrely look to him, not like Lance Guest, who was the original main character of the movie.
Well, that's
kind of like the jock.
Yeah. If I did it today, it would be more of a nerdy kind of, what we were growing up. Maybe someone who does really well at an MMORPG or something would be the trigger for bringing them in.
Well, it definitely couldn't be a stand-up arcade cabinet, because those don't really exist in any meaningful way anymore.
No. Although, if you go to some backwoods trailer park, there might be an old Galaga game sitting around.
Yeah, but you're not going to find there the savior of the galaxy, dude.
And we'd have to beef up the... Oh, that would be even better. Make Alex female.
But it is one that's ripe for a remake because it is the ultimate wish fulfillment fantasy. You get to directly inject yourself into the storyline.
It's
this
a
guy
guaranteed
plays video
sale.
games and gets to go to space. I play video games. I could go to space. That's the whole premise of the movie. So I think The Last Starfighter is a terrific idea. Great job. Ro, what do you have for me?
Oh God. As a joke, I would say Akira, because more than likely if they make the live-action Akira, it's going to be whitewashed. But no, I couldn't really... I mean, I could always just say the first 3 episodes of Star Wars, but I wouldn't know what to do with it. But I would say, Jeremy, help me come up with this because it's perfect. Highlander. Totally.
Highlander. What would you
They're
do
already
with
doing
Highlander?
that.
I would absolutely just change everything and make it not suck.
No.
Hey!
Have you seen Highlander? Because I
Yes.
thought you had only seen Highlander 2.
No, I watched Highlander 1 just for the bunker talk for Highlander 2, and it was the worst 3 hours of my life.
You didn't like the whole existential quandary of what do you do when you grow old and everyone around you, or what do you do when you age without aging and everyone around you dies?
Whatever. I would take out obligatory sex just because. Clancy
So
Brown
you
was cool.
wouldn't hire Uwe Boll, is what you're saying.
Yes, absolutely. I would. I mean, Clancy Brown was a cool villain, but I don't know. I'd make it just not as. I would make it more concentrating on the training of the new Highlander, and more trials and things like that, and maybe more villains.
Almost like a martial arts movie, like a kung
And
fu
make it
film.
make it a female Highlander. That would be cool, or a female previous Highlander, like an older woman coming to train the young man or a young woman.
Is that really the answer to everything at this point? Do we want to take the old sword and sorcery, swords and sandals kind of thing, and say instead of a young boy with a sword, it's going to be a young girl with a sword? Is that what?
Or an old woman training a young boy, or something.
Is that what the Hunger Games have done to movies?
No, what's wrong with a little variety?
There's
there
nothing
were
wrong with
female
it. It just
immortals in the
seems
TV
like
series.
I mean, shit, I would totally just make it not suck.
Now I just need to pause right there because Rick, you just admitted that you watched the TV series. I'm not sure if
Actually,
that's going to
no,
be.
I didn't. I had a lot of friends that watched it. I never saw an episode of it. I know a lot of the characters, but I never actually watched the show.
Ro, any
Very
ideas for
clever, that
casting of the Highlander?
Well,
Say
I
Ryan
think
Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds. Ro, say Ryan Reynolds.
no, absolutely not.
But you know how I want to put him in every role.
Yeah, next thing you're gonna say Channing Tatum, and then I had to go over the internet and stab you in the
no.
eye.
Ryan Reynolds. You put him as both the good guy and the bad guy.
That is, I wouldn't even know who to put in any of the roles.
Billy Connolly in the Sean Connery role.
Yeah. Oh, you can also put the girl who's in Pacific Rim. She could be the young Highlander.
Oh, I'd totally buy that.
Yeah.
I'd watch that for $1 to crib a RoboCop thing.
Mm-hmm.
Omar, what do you have for us, sir? What movie would you take and reboot?
Dune.
Dune. Hey, have you read the book?
That's why I would reboot it. The movies are way too old for me to watch and get into, and I'm not going to read the books. So
Okay, so-
I would think I think there's an
actually-
actual audience for it that just don't care for the old movies because they're dated and are not going to bother reading books. So me.
I can't remember exactly which year the original one with Sting was made. Was it 84? 84, 85?
or
somewhere in there?
84.
80 something.
It was
But
83 or
have you
84.
actually watched it? Have you actually watched
I tried.
it?
I
You've
tried. I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it past like the first 30 minutes.
It's garbage.
So you got to the planet and that was it, tapped out.
Yep.
Did you ever watch the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries?
No, but just because I had the bad experience with the movie, I mean, I just didn't care for it. So I
the
think
miniseries is better.
Well,
The-
I know
people
the
complain
books
about the
are supposed to be
miniseries, but I
very
like
good.
the miniseries.
The books are supposed to be like really good, and
What is
there's
the
like a
appeal?
lot of fabric to work with there.
But here's what I don't get. You haven't read the books. You haven't seen more than 30 minutes of the movie. What's the appeal for you? What's the draw? Why do you want this so badly?
Every single fucking person that I talk to raves about the books and says that it's like great. And
It's
I
great.
want to get into it, but it's not. I mean, I
should
have
get
a
into
problem.
it. You shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah.
Do you like audiobooks?
Yeah.
There's a couple of really good audiobook versions of Dune.
No,
But,
I'll have a look into that then.
Who
Because
would
I think
you
that
recommend?
would be good. Well, this is gonna be a cop out, but I saw like the concept art and some of the ideas from Jodorowsky. I think there was like a whole documentary about the one he wanted to make,
Okay.
and it looked freaking brilliant. So I think they should just do that, only with like newer techniques, but still.
Here's a podcast that I want to do with my wife, and I've been trying for years to convince her to do this. Lisa
Never gonna
hates
happen.
science fiction. She hates it with a fiery passion. She refuses to sit and watch it. And that's fine. I don't judge her or anything, filthy whore. You know, it's but I want to have a podcast where I sit down with her at a mic and I say, okay, Return of the Jedi, tell me everything you know about it. Because when she does it, it's hilarious. She's like, okay, so they're on this ice planet and some ghost comes up to him and he's like, you've got to travel through time to go talk to a green Muppet. And then they blow up a Death Star with a bunch of Ewoks on it. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much the movie. That's exactly right on. Good job, honey. I love you. That whole thing, you know?
She wouldn't do it because you're just recording her just to make fun of her.
Well, that's why she doesn't do it. She says, I don't want to be mocked. And I said, no
Yeah.
one would mock you.
You
Just,
would. That is just totally cruel. That's horrible.
But this is kind of the vibe that I'm getting from Omar. It's like, you know, tell me everything that you know about Dune, Omar. It seems odd that you like this whole motif out of
There
30
is-
minutes, but not enough to watch it.
There is sandworms and spice and some politics going on,
And
Do you
like,
like
and like
political
some
stuff?
caste
I mean,
system.
and there's like
Huh?
a meme of a cat sticking out of like a sleeve. Something with spice must flow. No, I'm with Omar in the same vein. I don't want to read the books. I don't want to watch the old movie. I'm curious.
Hey,
This is-
Rick, would you say that it's fair to call Dune like space Game of Thrones? Is that fair?
Yeah, yeah. I would be very surprised if Martin was not influenced by Dune.
I think that that's fair. I'm pretty sure that Game of Thrones is entirely cribbing from it, except it's not. It's not quite so dire. It's not
Well,
quite
the,
so
the,
dark.
the new ones are the Kevin J. Anderson and Brian Herbert books. They ramp up the violence a lot more than Frank Herbert ever did. And,
See, that's interesting. I've read the original Dune, the foundational Dune, probably, I don't know, 10, 12 times. I've done God Emperor of Dune maybe once. And what was it? The second one? Was that Children of Dune?
Well, Dune Messiah was second. Then God Emperor. No, wait, sorry. It goes Dune, Dune Messiah, Children of Dune, God Emperor of Dune, Heretics, Chapter House. Those are the 6 that Frank Herbert wrote.
Okay.
I've read all but Chapter House. And then his son, Brian, about 10 years ago, found a safe deposit box with all of Herbert's backstory and notes and stuff for the universe. And so he wrote 2 prequel trilogies and also some interstitial books that kind of bridge the gap between Frank Herbert's books. And I've read most of those. And while they're very different, I think so. They get a lot of guff from people who are like, well, it's not like Frank's, and so it's no good. But I think they flesh out the universe really well. And given that what they're doing is based on Frank Herbert's actual notes, they're considered canon. And I think there's a few moments where they kind of contradict stuff, but it's not terrible.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and do the cliche one that Ro mentioned at the very top of the segment here. I would really like to go back and remake a Star Wars movie. Just start with Star Wars Episode 4 and kind of, I don't know, I would entirely reboot it, not remake it. I would say let's take an entirely different look at this and do it from a different angle, a different perspective, and focus more on having a lot of the little tableaus that they did, like the Hoth scene. You know, I loved those little 15-minute scenes, the Jabba's Palace rescue scene. I loved those parts of Star Wars where you got to go to different locales. And I would take the movie and I would slow it down significantly, slow the pacing down. I think that was one of the huge problems with the prequel movies, was that they didn't really take the time to develop anything. They rushed through them to get to the graphics. They rushed through them to get to the action scenes. They rushed through them to get, 50 characters in that they felt that they had to wedge in to say, look how clever we are. That's Bail Organa, ha ha ha.
You say that, but it's an hour and a half or 2-hour movies and honestly, not much happens in the movies at all.
What?
So it's impossible on the first 3 on the new trilogy. I mean, the first one really nothing ever happens.
No.
Oh, I see. I thought you were talking original trilogy. I was going to go
the new one. I mean, you were saying that they rushed the new ones. But they didn't rush anything because they had nothing to say. Nothing happened in those movies.
Well, it was a lot of sound and fury signifying nothing. They tried to pack a lot onto the screen, but yes, you're right. It didn't really accomplish much.
You could easily edit the original trilogy down to one film that says what was needed. Well, I don't think any of it was needed to be said, but that could convey. I am an absolute prequel trilogy hater and unapologetic about it. They were garbage. And I do my best to ignore them when I will never voluntarily buy that. If Sharon gets to the point, my little girl, if she gets to the point where she wants to see episodes 1, 2, and 3, and asks me to get them, I will rent them for her, but I will not buy that shit.
Understandable. Yeah, my prequel trilogy copies all came as gifts because people said, Jason's a Star Wars fan. Let's get into these Star Wars movies. So I have all of those, and that's fine. I think that I've watched Attack of the Clones twice maybe since I got it, 8 years ago? Something along those lines. And the other 2 I haven't cracked open at all.
Yeah.
But as of recently, as of this past week, my daughter, 3-year-old Rylan, has become a Return of the Jedi fanatic. We were at the Disney store in the mall and she was looking through the princess stuff, but one half of the Disney store has now been converted entirely into a Star Wars section. So she got really curious about it. We went over and they had these little, like 5-6 inch tall statuettes from each of the original trilogy movies. We ended up buying $20 worth of Star Wars statues depicting
the one that
palace
Oh,
stuff. And, right, the Cloud
That's where
City
those came
stuff
from.
on Frozen in Carbonite. They're terrific. Yeah, very cost effective too. $10 for 5 or 6 little figurines. I thought that was great. And so she was really intrigued. We threw Return of the Jedi in, and she loved it.
She watched the whole thing?
Well, not really. Again, she's much into the opening scenes, the set pieces, the Hoth set in Empire, and of course the Jabba's palace sequence.
You
in Jedi.
showed her the slaying of the Wampa.
Yes. She was very
that's
upset
cool.
about it because she said it's the abominable snowman, Daddy the Bumble. She was very confused. She had a little bit of a crossover with Rudolph, and had to explain it to her, but no worries at all. My interest in this is that my daughter is finally into Star Wars, which I had been a little bit concerned because she was lagging Rick behind Sharon.
Your wife must be so happy.
She's not entirely convinced that it's the best thing in the world. We'll put it that way. But I think that's where we're going to end our conversation. Star Wars, Highlander, Dune, and The Last Starfighter. Those are all 4 really good picks for movies that we would like to see rebooted in our own image, so to speak, if we were to play God. And that's it for Atomic Trivia War 9000.
Wait, no.
Oh, you have things, bro. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm so
remember?
sorry. Yeah, you sent me this big long email of
No,
stuff.
I just sent that email so I could just have it there to remind myself. That's the only reason why it's there.
The floor is yours.
Thank
The
you.
delegate from Seattle is recognized.
I want to thank following people because over the last month, thank you to Different Malik for the Steam game. Thank you. I don't know when I'm going to play it. More than likely never, but thank you anyways. It's this penguin thing.
What a thankless little witch.
No, I want to say that dude, whatever.
Wait,
Okay.
what game is it?
It's called Penguins Arena. He gave me a Steam code. I was like, oh, okay. I think it was on my wish list. It was, and he just gifted it to me. But I will try to play it when I have a free time, which is very rare. But anyways, to thank you on Twitter to Jeff McKenzie at Iceman48 and Redalia for all the well wishes during my plague of Ebola/pneumonia. It was horrible, absolutely horrid to have pneumonia. Never ever again.
It was fun to watch from this end.
It sucked. It was horrible. Anyways, to Mike Mold, much love for the Seahawks camaraderie, and we need to be Wii U friends. So add me on the Wii U, Rosaka, at Andrew Neal, Toxic Death. The Cowboys are going to lose to the Packers. I'm sorry to say, it's going to happen. And to Jeff Phillips, Jeff Philly6, I look forward to the Seahawks kicking the crap out of the Panthers and taking that stupid smile off of Cam Newton's face. So hopefully this is going to come true because it's going to air next week after the playoff, the game. But yeah. And also to any listeners, if you have iOS and play games on iOS, you guys should play Crossy Road. It's an endless Frogger. And add me on Game Center, Rosaka M. Currently my high score is 206. If you can beat me, tweet at me, and I'll tweet it and let people know that you're better than me. So yeah.
Hey, I recently got an iPad. Maybe I'll play that with you.
It's actually pretty brilliant. You don't really have to pay anything, but there are microtransactions, but you earn coins as you go, and you gift coins, and every 100 coins, it's kind of a slot machine thing. You get free characters, and some of the characters are hilarious. Like the poopy pigeon, he farts and poops all the time while you're trying to cross the road. But
farts and poops are hilarious.
Yes,
the
poops
basis
are
of all
hilarious.
humor.
And then I really want to get the Doge one, because when you do the Doge one, it'll come out all over the screen like, wow, so crossy, much cross, car, but I haven't earned it yet. And I'm almost tempted to pay the 99 cents just to get that stupid character.
Don't.
They got you. That's how they set the hook.
Hey,
It's only 99 cents this time.
it's free entertainment for most part, so I think it's worth $1.07 of my income to say, hey, you guys made a good game. Here's my dollar, Thank you.
$1.07 means you're planning on buying two things.
What do you mean?
So visit simplysyndicated.com, where you can check out other really great podcasts, including Ray Guns and Go-Go Boots with our illustrious friend Rick Tatro and our oft-time companion Richard Smith, who many of you remember as a contestant on this very show. You can also get lots of other great podcasts there. Just go ahead and check it out, simplysyndicated.com, and also Facebook. Facebook.com/ATW9K and @ATW9K on Twitter. So that's
Are
it.
we still shilling GoDaddy?
We are shilling GoDaddy, but there's something at the beginning of the show. We don't need to go into that. It's time to sign off. We'll see everybody next week.
See ya.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
I'm gonna have you. Yes, baby.
Go Hawks.